Students, welcome to the fifth session of Module 4 from Python Application Programming. This is Shilpa Shetty, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering, AJIET, Mangalore. So, in the earlier sessions, we have discussed what are classes, what are objects, what are instance level attributes, what are class level attributes, which are the different functions related to copying, that is how to copy one object to another object. Also, we have discussed what are pure functions and what are modifiers. So since this is the fifth session of the fourth module, in this session we will be discussing classes and methods. The topics that are covered under this session are object-oriented features, the init method, and an example to illustrate the init method. So now let us begin with the first topic of this session, that is object-oriented features. Dear students, you all know that Python is an object-oriented programming language, which means that it provides features that support object-oriented programming. And the object-oriented programming has these characteristics. So every program must include a class and method definition. Most of the computation is expressed in the form of operations on objects. Objects often represent things in the real world, and method define the way these things interact in the real world. So we already know an object is nothing but an instance of a class, and a class can contain attributes as well as methods. So attributes are like the characteristics of an object, and method tells you how these characteristics interact among each other. To establish a relationship between object of the class and function, we must define a function as a member of the class. A method is a function that is associated with a particular class. So we already know what are functions. Functions are nothing but set of instructions to perform a particular task. If a function is a member of the class, then such a function is called as a method. So a method is a function that is associated with a particular class. Methods are semantically same as function, but there are two syntactic differences. The first difference is that methods are defined inside class definition in order to make the relationship between the class and the method explicit. So methods, when you say methods, these are similar to functions, but exactly when you call a function as method is when that function is defined inside a class, then you can call such a function as a method. Now the syntax for defining a method is different from syntax for calling a function, because a function can be called directly, whereas when you call a method you need to invoke with respect to the object of the particular class to which you have defined the method. So the next method that we are going to define is the init method. So this is the method that is similar to constructor in other object-oriented programming language. The init method, or in short we can call it as, which is actually the short for initialization, is a special method that gets invoked when object is instantiated. That means when an object is created, for a class, if you create an object, when the object is created, this particular method gets invoked. Its full name is init. The way you write init is 2 underscore characters followed by init and then again 2 more underscores. It is similar to constructor method in programming languages like C++ or Java. So init method is nothing but similar to constructor. So you know that constructor is a method that is automatically invoked when the object is created. So the same thing happens here. If your class has an init method, when you create object for this particular class, the method init will be created, or the method init will be invoked. So let us see an example here of a point class where you can use the init method. So we have already discussed this point class. Let me just quickly recall what is this point class. Point class represents points in the coordinate systems. So let us see the program. We have written import math because in the course of the program we are using the square root function. So that is defined under math module. So we are importing math module here. So now let us define class point. So the first function that is, or the first method that is defined in class point is the init method. Remember, init method is similar to constructors in C++ or Java. So define init, and please make a note how this init method is defined. 2 underscores followed by init followed by 2 more underscores. Self, A, B. So the init method takes 3 parameters here. The first parameter is self. Now the self is similar to this pointer in C++. So in C++ we are using something called as this pointer. So when you write like something like this dot A, it means A, attribute A of the current object. The object that has invoked the function is called as current object. Its attribute A. So that is written as this dot A. Here instead of this we are using self. So self means here the object that has invoked this particular method, or here the object that has been created currently, because init method is invoked when the object is created. So object that has been invoked, that is represented by self. A, B. These are 2 more attributes that you're passing. So the definition of this method says self.x is equal to A, self.y is equal to B. So when the object for the point class is created, we have 2 instance level attributes here, x and y, which are assigned with the values of A and B. For example, if you write like P1 is equal to point of 10, 20, then P1 is the object that is calling this particular init method. So P1 is nothing but self here. Then 10, 20 will be assigned to A and B, which in turn gets assigned to X and Y. So this is the first method that we have, which is the constructor method that gets invoked automatically on the creation of object. The next method that we have is distance. So this has been discussed in our earlier point program. So the distance function finds the distance between 2 points using the Euclidean distance formula. Assume that we have 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2. The distance between x1, y1 and x2, y2 is computed by square root of x1 minus x2 the whole square minus y1 minus y2 the whole square. So that is the formula being used. The same formula is used here, but if you see the parameters to this function, we have self, q. So here self represents the object that has called this function distance, and Q represents the another object that is passed as parameter. For example, if you call the if you have 2 points P1 and P2, then this function can be invoked like P1 dot distance of P2. That means P1 is invoking the function, whereas P2 is passed as parameter to this function. So here self represents P1 and P2 is nothing but Q. The actual parameters are the formal parameters are P1 and P2, whereas the actual parameters will be self and Q. So then we are finding the distance, as I told you, that is math dot square root of self dot x minus q dot x the whole square minus self dot y minus q dot y the whole square. So once the distance is determined between the 2 points, we will return the distance which is stored in variable r. The next method that we have is str. This is a method that returns an string representation of an object. This is used, say, whenever we have to display any point, we can use the print function. One more way that we can use is, instead of writing print function, we can write a function called str, and this function returns the string representation of the object. For example, if I write print p1, then I want the x and y value of p1 to get printed. So either I have to write the print function as print p1.x, p1.y. That is one way how you can write the print function. One more way is, if you simply write print p1, where you are just writing the name of the object, and on writing that, if you expect the x and y values to get printed, then you have to define a function called str, which returns you a string representation of the object. So define str. Again, str function is defined in the same way as is written in the same way as the init function. 2 underscores str followed by 2 more underscore self. So self is the object that has invoked this function. For example, if I write print of p1, then p1 will invoke this str function. So what does this function do? It returns, just see the format here, %d, %d, percentage self.x, self.y. So that means it returns the value of x and y for the object that has invoked this function. For example, when I write print p1, if suppose x and y values of p1 are 10 and 20, then the value that would be returned by this function is 10 space 20. So what happens? That value 10, 20 will get printed by the print function. The next thing that we are writing in this program is to create two objects. Let us create two objects, p1 and p2. p1 is a point with coordinates 10, 20. And p2 is another point with xy value 5, 18. So now we have 2 points, p1 and p2. So now let us print the value of p1 and p2. So we write print p1 is, then p1, again print p2 is p2. So when you write like this, p1 is, that whatever is written within double quote, that will be printed by the print function, whereas the value of p1 is sent by the str function. Similarly with p2, the value of p2, that is x and y values of p2, will be returned by the str function. So once we print the values of p1 and p2, let us call the distance function. So d is equal to p1 dot distance of p2. So I told you here, p1 is the object that is calling the function. So p1 will be referred as self in the distance function, and p2 is the object that is passed explicitly. If you remember, the parameter that we had was one more parameter that we had in the distance function is q. So q is a reference to p2. So once this distance is calculated, let us print the distance between the 2 points, which is stored in D. So the sample output of this program is p1 is 10, 20, p2 is 5 and 18. So we see that both x and y values of p1 and p2 are being printed, and the distance between the 2 points calculated is printed here, which is 4.58, 25, etc. Okay, so this is the this example tells you how to use the init method to initialize the objects. That means the init method here will be invoked when you write this statement. So when you write point of 10, 20, so when you write this, the init function will be invoked, which is similar to the constructor method in C++. Similarly, the init method for object p2 will be invoked when you write point of 5, 18. And one more thing to remember is, we need not explicitly invoke the init method. It gets invoked automatically when the object for the particular class is created. So this here is a brief description of what we have discussed already. So every method of a class must have first argument as self. This argument self is a reference to the current object. That is, it is a reference to the object which invoked the method, and self is similar to this pointer in C++. The init method, which is short for initialization, is a special method that gets invoked when an object is instantiated. Str is a special method similar to init that is supposed to return a string representation of an object. So this is what we discussed already. So that is all that we have for this session. Thank you students for watching.